I'm Laia, this is Lucy, and today I'm going to talk about my verdict on Duolingo. So, I think everyone should be aware of what Duolingo is, but just in case you aren't, Duolingo is a language learning app and it's arguably the most popular language learning app in the world. It's the one everyone knows the name of, it's the one everyone goes to first when they want to learn a language, and it claims to be the best in the world. So when I first started learning Spanish, I obviously went straight to Duolingo because if you aren't a seasoned language learner and you've never learned a language before, Duolingo is the place you go. So obviously I went to Duolingo to start learning Spanish. And I did Duolingo for a very long time. My streak was so high, and back then you still had crowns. You don't have crowns anymore, but I had so many crowns. I had so much XP, like my XP was so high. And at the end of doing Duolingo for so long, I could not speak a word of Spanish. It's like I didn't know Spanish. So it did not teach me the language, but that's not to say that it won't help someone else or won't teach someone else the language. But for me personally, Duolingo did not teach me a language. In the past few weeks, I've been on a quest to rediscover language learning apps and see if I like any of them and see if they work. Now, I tried so many and I regret to say that I didn't like any of them, except for Memrise. Memrise was quite good, but because I only had the free version, I could only do a little tiny bit. But I really like the concept and I really like how they approach language learning and how they approach the app. I think it's really good because there are videos of native speakers saying the words so you can hear what they sound like from a native speaker's voice, which is really, really cool. But back to Duolingo. So when I was looking for apps to use and rediscovering apps, I went back to Duolingo to try it again and to see what I think. And I have some thoughts. So I used it a few times and I'm going to talk about the best things about it, the things I like, the things I don't like, and just some of my general opinions. And after I've spoken about that, I'm going to jump into Duolingo, into the game, and show you what I like and what I don't like and what my profile currently looks like. The things that I like about Duolingo. It is by far the best app aesthetically and design-wise. Like, the design of that app is honestly amazing. Like, it's really, really, really good. And when you go into the app, it looks pretty, you want to use it, it's very user-friendly. And some of the other apps I tried are not user-friendly at all. But Duolingo is extremely user-friendly and it's very, very pretty and nice to look at, and it's very nice to use. And it's enjoyable. It's enjoyable to use because it looks so nice and because it's so easy to use. The functionality is extremely good, and I think that ties into what I just said, that it's user-friendly, but the functionality of the app is really far beyond a lot of the other apps. It is really fun and engaging, and that's something a lot of the other apps lack, is the engagement. But Duolingo, because it's set up like a game, it's like it's like playing a game because you build up XP, you collect these diamonds, and then you buy things with the diamonds. Like, it's really like a game, and then you compete in the league, so you compete with other people. It's really like a game, so it's really fun and very engaging. So it's not something you would maybe get tired of using, and it's something you would want to go back to every day, especially because of the streak. So if you want to keep your streak up and if it's important for you to get a streak, you will want to go back every day, and then you will want to also get a streak freeze, which if you don't do the app for a day, it freezes your streak and then you don't lose your streak, so it's a whole thing. Those are the things I really like about the app, and those are the things I think are good about the app. Now on to the things I don't like. So the first thing I don't like is how specific your answers have to be. They have to be extremely, extremely specific. You can't leave one word out. You can't change the order of the sentence. It has to be so specific or it marks it wrong. And then if you do get something wrong, you only have 5 lives, like a game. So there's like little hearts, and when your 5 hearts are finished, you can either buy more hearts or you have to wait until they are replenished. So you can't carry on learning. And the reason I don't like that the answers have to be so specific is that sentence structures change, and you can say something in a different way or different structure, and it will still mean the same thing. Like in every language, you can say the same thing in so many different ways. And it's extremely frustrating if you just forget one little tiny word, like a little 2-letter thing, and it marks it wrong. And then you have to do it again and again and again. And then what happens is, instead of learning that that is the way you have to do it, you just memorize for the next time that you have to answer that question, because you have to answer your mistakes again. So you're like, okay, this word goes there. And then you memorize that and then put it in, but you don't actually learn. And I know that sounds contradicting, and I've had people tell me that memorizing is how you learn a language, which I totally understand. So it's a very confusing concept to understand, but you memorize in a way that you don't internalize, don't remember, don't understand. You just memorize. So that is the problem. The second thing I don't like is the automated voices. So the sentences do get read out to you, but the voices are not voices of real people who are native speakers. It is an automated, like, robot voice. And they are all automated. There are a few different voices. Because it's automated, it doesn't sound like a real person. Although it is good to hear it, so that is a good thing, but it's not a real person. Then I also don't like that on Duolingo, the Spanish is only Mexican Spanish. I assume it's Mexican Spanish. I actually don't know specifically, but it is not Spanish from Spain. And when you click on the icon to learn Spanish, and when you see what language you're learning, it shows a Spain flag. Like, it shows the country Spain's flag. But the Spanish being taught is not Spanish from Spain. And the way I know it's not Spanish from Spain is some sentence structures are different, some words are different, and the pronunciation is different. As a beginner, and I'm not quite a beginner anymore, but I really wanted to learn a specific pronunciation of words. I wanted to learn like a Spanish pronunciation, and I know there are different accents in Spain. I know. But I wanted to learn one of them in Spain, and I did not want to learn Mexican Spanish. Also, some of the words they use are different than in Spain, and that really confused me. And when I did start lessons, my teacher asked me, "Did you do Duolingo because you are using these incorrect words?" So it's a bit obvious. And also, another thing I picked up is that some of the things they teach you are actually wrong, at least according to Spain Spanish. It's wrong because I don't specifically remember, but I used something similar or something like the mistake in my Spanish lesson, and my teacher corrected it and said, "That's wrong, this is the right way." And so some of the things are actually technically wrong. And obviously, that's a problem. And like I said, at least according to Spain Spanish. And another thing I found that's a bit of a problem, it's not a huge problem, but it's still something I don't like, is that they always use pronouns in Duolingo. And in spoken Spanish, you don't use the pronouns. So for example, you say como pescado. You don't say yo como pescado. You don't. And in Duolingo, they always use the pronouns. And if you put in your answer without the pronoun, they mark it wrong, even if it's right in everyday spoken Spanish and the way Spanish is used. You only use a pronoun if you want to emphasize, like yo como pescado, like for emphasis. You don't use it. So that's a bit of a problem, because if you go into the real world of Spanish and you use the pronouns, it's just going to sound a little bit silly, isn't it? Because pronouns are not used. Then another thing I don't like, this list is seeming a bit too long. Another thing I don't like are the ads and the constant pop-ups. while playing. So you play and then there's constant pop-ups. Do you want this? Do you want this? Do this, do this. And then comes an ad for Duolingo, the paid version, and then you have to sit through that. There are just so many pop-ups and ads and things that come up. And not ads for other products necessarily or other games, but ads within the game. And then obviously the ad for Duolingo Super, I think it's called Duolingo Super, which means actually I don't know what it means, but they want you to buy it. So something I actually really do enjoy and find really fun are the matching games. I don't know, it's like a little mini game. I don't really know what benefits it might have, besides from quick thinking and like building your vocab, but I found it quite fun and enjoyable to play, so here's that. There you go. Thank you so much for watching. What's your opinion on Duolingo? Do let me know. Do you use it? Do you like it? And what do you like about it? What don't you like about it? So, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Goodbye.